The following clip is from a book review and analysis video I made on Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington. The book is an autobiography telling the story of how Washington, who was born a slave, rose up from slavery while helping his fellow freed slaves become freer still through education and hard work. It is full of wisdom regarding the history of slavery, the value of education, the power of merit, and how to effectively improve race relations, among other things. I think of Washington as an American hero, whom we should all look up to today for guidance in these divisive times. The following is a testament to his brilliance that will give you something to think about for the rest of the day. Now, the last passage in the On Slavery and Those Who Let Go of Racial Prejudice and Those Who Don't comes from Booker T. Washington's famous Atlanta Exposition address. And here he is, he's talking about slavery and racial prejudice and the flaws in it. And he highlights one idea that I want to discuss after I read the passage that I think is very important to understand. I find that, as a rule, it is only the little, narrow people who live for themselves, who never read good books, who do not travel, who never open up their souls in a way to permit them to come into contact with other souls, with the great outside world. No man whose vision is bounded by color can come into contact with what is highest and best in the world. In meeting men in many places, I have found that the happiest people are those who do the most for others. The most miserable are those who do the least. I have also found that few things, if any, are capable of making one so blind and narrow as race prejudice. I often say to our students, in the course of my talks to them on Sunday evenings in the chapel, that the longer I live and the more experience I have of the world, the more I am convinced that, after all, the one thing that is most worth living for, and dying for if need be, is the opportunity of making someone else more happy and more useful. Obviously, that passage is like right on the money when it comes to helping others, and it's beautifully put by Mr. Washington. But the idea that I want to go over in that passage that I think is very, very, very important is the line, "No man whose vision is bounded by color can come into contact with what is highest and best in the world." Booker T. Washington here highlights one of the great deficiencies of racism. And that is, if you look at a whole other group of people and refuse to listen to them, refuse to pay attention to them because you believe that they are inferior to you because of the color of their skin, you are missing out on the geniuses and the great achievements that race will inevitably, produce. Racism, it narrows the talent pool of greatness in society. If you section yourself off, if black people say, we're not going to deal with white people anymore, then black people are going to miss out on the great things, the great inventions, the great books, the great ideas that the white race comes up with. Likewise, if the white race sections itself off from the black race, they're going to also miss out on the great inventions and the great books, the great ideas of the black race. Racism narrows everything. It is a stupid, stupid way to live. And Booker T. Washington, in this passage, illustrates that to a T.